Here with UWL baseball coach Chris Schwartz, who is in his 21st season as head coach here at UWL. The Eagles open up their 2025 season this Friday, March 7th at 4 p.m. versus number 9 ranked University of Laverne in California. First, coach, just talk about your team this year. You have 16 seniors this year and a good mix of underclassmen.
Yeah, we do. I mean, I think over the last couple of years, we've had quite a bit of experience on the field with the players that we have. Most of the players, especially in the lineup, have been playing pretty consistently the last couple of years. So I think the overall strength going into this season is definitely going to be the offensive lineup. We were very intentional about making rosters, and I think we did a pretty good job of mixing it up with some younger guys for the future, and leaning on some of the experienced players that we have.
Great. So next, what do you hope to see from your team early in the season when you play in California and Florida?
California is going to be tough. We play some really good teams out there, and there's a couple of things. One, we play good opponents, which is good, but early in the season they have the advantage because they're on the field quite a bit sooner than we are. They got 10 games in. A couple of them have 12, 15 games in already. So they have an advantage in that regard. We haven't been on a real baseball field yet this year. It's not an excuse by any means. We're anticipating going out there and competing and showing really well. But it's going to be a tough go, and playing good teams out there especially. But it should be a really fun trip. The weather looks great, and the coaches out there are very accommodating, and great programs, and we're looking forward to playing them, and then regrouping and heading down to Florida and facing good competition down there too.
Awesome. Next, just talk about the WAC this year and what do you expect from the conference?
I think we're going to be a little bit deeper than we have in the past. We have some really strong teams at the top. We feel like we're in that mix, and of course last year playing Whitewater in the super regionals, that they pretty much have everybody back from last year's squad just like we do. So two strong teams at the top. I'm pretty comfortable saying the other couple of teams that are usually in the mix are going to be strong as well. Oshkosh is returning some really good players, and Point's got a couple good players, but the quote unquote bottom end of the conference from last year to the last couple of years, we have two new teams, new programs, really, right? Clare and River Falls, and I think they're going to do okay. I don't know that they're going to come out storming. I think River Falls, this is their first year in the league in baseball for many years. So, but I think they're going to be stronger than maybe some people might think, and they might rise up and kind of really start the process of raising the bottom up, and really create a really deep conference, deeper than we've had before.
Great. So you touched on a little bit earlier, but talk about your strengths on your team heading into this season.
Yeah, I think the offense is really the highlight. The main strength that we have, and just because of the experience, we've got some really talented players. I think we've been obviously talking about it going into this weekend, and I mean 1 through 7 in the lineup, potentially 1 through 8, depending on who's catching, are going to all be seniors, and especially 1 through 7 all have produced at a high level. 6 of them have been all conference, all region players, all American players. So when one player's not hitting, I think the other ones might. I think there's going to be a little bit of give and take in a really strong and deep lineup. I think there's going to be a couple surprises that in some underclassmen that might get some playing time, and you probably have to bat 8 or 9 in the order, but I think they're going to produce pretty well. From a pitching perspective, it's a little bit interesting this year. We definitely have some returning strength. Most of our rotation is going to be returning with some strength and experience, but not all of them. And we changed a few things this year with we have quite a few young true freshmen on the pitching staff that I think are going to produce. I think they're going to get some innings and show really well for us. That's been one of our intentional things in the off season and this fall, and moving into this roster is improving our pitching staff, not only in the players that we do have, but maybe shaking up the dynamic of that a little bit too. So we're hopeful that that's going to pay off, and we're going to pitch a little bit better than we have in the past. And we lost one of our players, arguably our best player to the portal last year, and that's a new thing that's going to keep happening. So I think we're in a good place from a pitching staff perspective, and that combined with our offense should show pretty well. Again, we're trying to compete at the top end of the country and the nation. So, ultimately in the end, hoping to be there and in having the ability to make a decent postseason push.
Well, awesome, Coach. Thank you, and good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.